school projects, timing is everything. Imagine walking into a brand new school as a parent, looking for admission for your child. Naturally you would expect to see the school in a fully completed state. Classrooms ready, infrastructure in place, the curriculum structured. This search typically begins around September or October, when parents actively explore options for their children. Now, for a new school to maximize admissions, the school must be at least 90% ready by September. Any delay means lost admissions, and with that a lost opportunity for an entire year. So here timing is everything. But as it always happens with projects, there are inevitable surprises, scope changes, delays, Murphy and whatnot. And yet we need to deliver the project near perfectly in an imperfect world. There are the existing schools that are the Brownfield projects. Now these are not just maintenance but also capacity expansion. New floors, finishing bare shells. Now these are shorter projects that require precise planning and flawless execution. Any misstep in scheduling, approvals or resource allocation can disrupt the operations, creating a vicious cycle that affects the entire academic calendar. It's like a school factory, if you can call it, continuously producing new greenfield schools and upgraded brownfield schools. Now any disruption in this flow can have a cascading effect.
Managing multiple projects, brownfield as well as greenfield, created a lot of problems. The projects used to drag endlessly. Projects that needed to be over within 3 months dragged on for 6 months. The solution was with realizations, focus and finish approach, where we were able to stagger projects in a planned manner, finished certain projects before we started the other projects. Finally, we were able to complete all our projects in time without getting distributed, without our energies spread thin, and start our schools on time.
At VIBGYOR, we introduced a fundamental shift in their approach. So one of the key changes was reducing the work in progress at the bottleneck, aligning it with the actual capacity. So let us talk about the actual numbers here, right? The bottleneck for the Brownfield schools was the design team, and the cycle time per school was close to 4 to 5 weeks. So at any point of time, you can imagine the team handling at least 4 projects, not to talk of the niggling interventions from the projects which were already under execution. So by limiting their workload to only one project at a time, the cycle time was cut down to 7 to 10 days. So what we essentially did was that instead of pushing multiple projects forward simultaneously and overwhelming the teams, we helped them focus on completing one project at a time, ensuring each phase was finished before moving on to the next. So the second shift which we introduced in VIBGYOR is quite interesting. It's the concept of full kitting. So ensuring that all the prerequisites are in place before starting any task, right? So what this means? So this means that all your drawings, your resources, your work fronts and your permissions all are in place and the execution is ready to go. So the exuberance to start the task as soon as possible, although it is laden with good intentions, right? It is often the perfect recipe for disasters and for your project delays. It takes a great conviction to withhold the execution until your entire full kitting is complete. But this discipline prevents the chaos later. So instead of firefighting during execution, the focus shifts into getting everything ready upfront, getting your full kits ready, and ensuring that the execution is smooth, predictable, and seamless.
With the simple yet strategic changes, VIBGYOR has transformed its Brownfield project execution, laying a strong foundation for its upcoming Greenfield schools. By staggering projects, prioritizing completion and controlling the work in progress, they have broken free from delays and are now well on track to achieve their ambitious expansion plan. Because in school projects, just like in education itself, timing is everything.